So the basics of SEO are kind of as follows. You make an account on Ahrefs, and there's a bunch of other websites. Ahrefs is a bit more expensive than the others, but it's good, and it's like known. It's not new. It works really well, and I think it's worth it. And it's also what I know. Right? It's the only thing I can use to show the things that I do. But what you need to do is you need to put it in like your websites and potentially any tracked keywords you have, but that's up for debate. But you put in your websites, you have to put them also on the Google Search Console, but Ahrefs walks you through that. It's not that hard to do. And once you put your website in here, you get a bunch of data about it, like the domain rating, the URL rating, backlinks, and a bunch of other things. There's a few key stuff that really matters, like DR, the domain rating. Basically, it's how trusted your domain is by the different search engines. The higher this is, the more trusted your domain is. And if your domain is more trusted, then whatever you optimize for SEO is more likely to appear on the search engine's pages or higher, like in page 1 versus page 5. So this is a really big part of, making SEO work. It's building your DR. Now, how do you build your DR? Well, that's a primary function of backlinks. And it's not just the number of backlinks, it's also the quality of backlinks. So you want other trusted websites to link to you, not just a million random shady websites. That actually will hurt your DR from what I understand. But how do you build good backlinks? Well, getting your website featured in an article from a blog that is reputable. That's a good one, right? Or getting yourself submitted to different directories that are reputable. Hacker News is a cool one, not because Hacker News has great DR, because Hacker News actually does no follow links to you, which means that the backlink doesn't actually count, but because Hacker News gets crawled by a bunch of websites who then have decent DR and also do follow links, which means that their backlinks do count, and that will improve your DR. And that's actually what I have done. Elite Software is an old domain that I bought from someone, so it already had a bunch of DR and backlinks pre-built in when I got it. But Expensio I got from scratch, and I built it up to at one point 3 DR, 3.2 DR. Now it's at 2.5. So your DR, your trustedness, it can fluctuate based on, maybe somebody that had a backlink to you removes it, or maybe they now add it back, or whatever else, or maybe their DR gets lower, and then that affects you. It's a lot of things that can happen, but the primary way I've built backlinks for Expensio is to simply post some of my articles on Hacker News and then get crawled, and then people point to me, and that built some backlinks, which built my DR a bit. 2.5 DR is not great. You should try to aim for 10, 20, 30, because that's when you can get ranked well for a lot of keywords. And I'm going to go into keywords in a moment. This is actually the keywords that I do rank for Expensio. So this is what I rank in the United States. And I have other places, like I rank in the United Kingdom, I think. Oh no, that's Elite Software. Okay, my bad. But yeah, these are the keywords. So if somebody searches is 24K a year good, well, I'm gonna rank on position 40 for that. So page 4 or 3, I don't know. And it points to my article here, which I wrote. And basically, it's important when you write an article or create any sort of page to have all of these meta descriptions and like OG descriptions and Twitter description, and especially this one, the keywords, the meta keywords, to kind of point the search engine to what you're trying to rank for, to kind of tell the search engine, hey, I'm trying to rank for these. Also, your H1 is really important in terms of what you're going to rank for. So like these are the primary ways you target a certain query, through the keywords meta tag and through whatever your H1 is, through H2s too, and also through how often a keyword happens throughout the page. But a big one is the H1 and the meta tags. And the meta tags, people often forget to add them. You always should. But even if you know perfectly target a keyword, you're still not going to rank for it unless you actually have enough domain rating to do it. So the reason why I'm on position 40, not position 1, like the first at the top of the page on page 1, is part of it is because of my DR. There are likely other websites that try to rank for this keyword that they're just more trusted than mine, or their article is better optimized for the keyword. So it's a combination of things, and that's how the search engines kind of position you. And you can help yourself out by either optimizing, as you've seen, my article here is not exactly optimized. Like my keywords, for example, I don't know if I can find them again. Here they are. They have nothing to do with these keywords that I rank for. And so that's part of it. If I modified that and I worked these keywords more into the page, I could rank higher for these, because here's another important metric, KD. This is key difficulty, and it's kind of, well, it kind of tells you how much of a DR you have to rank on in the top 10 for the specific keyword. So like this specific search query has a KD of 1. I have a domain rating of 2.5. Technically, in theory, I should be able to rank in the top 10 on the first page for this specific search query if I optimize my article for it. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I don't know if I want to do that, because the intent of the query also matters a lot, right? I mean, is 24K a year good? These people are probably trying to figure out if the salary of 24K a year is good, or if what people think of that salary, not trying to figure out if saving 24K a year is good, right? So then, even if you optimize your article well, even if you have a great domain rating, ultimately it's very important that whatever content you have for that search query actually satisfies the intent of the search query. People are going to look for whatever they're going to look, and they're gonna click on your shit, and if they don't find what they wanted to, they're gonna go back and search more, and the search engine can tell that, and then it figures out, okay, when people go to this website, they only spend 2 minutes on it, and when they come back and they search more, it means that this website doesn't satisfy the intent, right? So that's kind of, I guess, the third thing. The first thing was domain rating, then the key difficulty, which is really important, and then it's really important that you actually have, what do you call it? That you actually satisfy the intent of the user when they search for whatever the fuck they're searching. And this is kind of what my vacation trip calculator does. And you can see I'm on position 97, and you go in here, and it's an actual trip planner calculator with a bunch of options, and it's, you know, pretty useful and neat and whatever else. So this one satisfies the intent, but the KD for this one is 14. And my domain rating is 2.5, so I'm not gonna rank high for it, regardless of how well I target it, right? And now, well, that's kind of the basics of how you rank for keywords and stuff, but how do you figure out which keywords you should even try to target? Because like, okay, now that I have a website that's been crawled and has some traffic on it and is half decently understood, I already have some organic competitors. These are not competitors necessarily for my business, but competitors for my SEO. And so I can, for example, go to their website. I can go to the Financial Samurai website, and I can look for it in here, and I can find their DR, I can find their backlinks, I can find their keywords, right? And I can sort of use their stuff as inspiration for what I should try to rank for, and this is great. But when you first start out, you know, you're gonna have to figure out on your own who you should try to model and kind of copy. In your specific case, maybe that's gonna be MailChimp, right? MailChimp's a big email provider. and you can just go through here and you can look at like the keywords of MailChimp. Starting out, you should probably set a KD limit of 20 max. This means basically that we don't try to, like, you're not gonna try to rank for something that has a 91 KD because you don't have that trust score yet. You just don't when you're starting out. You might also want to filter for some volume, like at least 20 volume. This filter is only for the United States, so it's actually going to have a lot more volume globally of searches, but 20 I think is a good start. You probably want higher volume, but like, hey man, if you can get like 10 articles and they each bring you 20 searches from the USA, and then another 50 from global, and that's 70, and you have 10 articles, that's 700 visitors a month. Is it that bad? I don't think that's bad, especially if the intent is good, because some searches have a more of a buying intent and some of them have more of a, just a non-buying intent. So there's also that. There's things you can target. Like somebody might be looking for a specific query, I don't know, self-hosted email marketing tools. If they look for that, they're probably looking to buy, right? And if you can rank for that, that's probably a good idea to rank for that. Once you filter them, you get all of these, and you're gonna have to, do some educated guesses on what you want to try to rank for, because not all of them make sense, and not all of them are probably gonna bring you a lot of like high quality traffic for your business. But what you do now is you just walk through pages and pages of keywords that your competitors rank for, and just try to find the ones that you think you want to rank for, the ones where you think the content would be quality and actually useful to your users too, and just try to rank for that. I try to, again, it's very important, at least to me, that I try to also provide useful content and not just SEO optimized content. So I try to rank for things that I also think are cool or useful. But that's part of it. I wanted to show you a specific keyword. What did I say? Self-hosted email marketing tools. And let's look for the United States. Okay, so not a lot of traffic for this one, but the cool part about this Keywords Explorer is that you can try a bunch of other things. So, software, self-hosted email marketing. Okay, and we can search for all of them. And you can see that this one has a 14 KD ratio and 40 search volume in the USA, with a global search volume of about 80. So this one wouldn't be bad for you to try to rank for. It also has a CPC of $13. So people actually pay ads $13 per click to rank for this. So you're like, I think that's important to kind of get into your mind how much money you're saving by ranking for this. If you get a click from this, from ranking on this, that's $13. You get 10 clicks, that's $130 that you just saved by just putting in the work of researching this keyword and of making an article for it. The other cool thing about Ahrefs is that it gives you a bunch of like keyword ideas based on whatever you looked for. So hey, you could also rank for email marketing platform, or people also talk about Google Analytics or self-hosted email, like all sorts of other combinations that you could try to also rank for. It also shows you who ranks for these, and you can try to look through these to figure out what the search intent actually is, so that you target the correct search intent and not a wrong and a mistaken search intent. Okay, there's one more thing that I wanted to show you. We're gonna go back to MailChimp here, and we want to look at broken links. This is super awesome because what you're gonna find here, if you also filter by do follow, is all of the websites that link to MailChimp in this case, but the link is broken because Chainlink or because MailChimp deleted that specific page. And now these people out here, they have a broken link on their page. And you could, in theory at least, I haven't done this yet, but I've seen people do it successfully, and I'm still to implement it myself. you will see people that link to these articles. The link is broken, so you can now text them. You can basically rebuild the page here on the left side, and then text these guys or email them and tell them, hey, I rebuilt that page and you're linking to it and it's broken. Why not link to mine instead, since mine exists? And likely, like with cold outreach, most are going to say no, but some might say yes, and that's going to help you build more backlinks for yourself. It's a manual and tedious process, from what I understand, but hey, man, you need backlinks. You just need them. It is what it is. It also, well, yeah, there's one more thing that I kind of want to look at. Ahrefs also helps you with site audits, and I think you should like try to get regular site audits, especially after any major change to the website, and try to keep your health score high, like 100% if possible. And if you go to the site audit, it's going to explain exactly what you messed up that your health score is not high. I honestly don't know if the difference between a 90 health score and 100 is really that big, or exactly how problematic these are, but I think it's just a good practice to try and get this as high as possible. I think 95 is good, but yeah, if you can do 100, that would be nice. There's a bunch of other features that Ahrefs has, a bunch of them. It can help you figure out paid search and a bunch of other stuff. If you have any broken backlinks, it can help you figure that out. I don't have any, but if you do. And it's also cool to kind of see how your SEO has evolved over time. You can kind of see whenever I've made bigger changes, how my domain rating or URL rating fluctuated, and so on and so forth. It's pretty neat. There's a bunch of other cool stuff to it. There's a lot of ways you can play with it, but this is kind of the 101 of SEO. And just to kind of show what I'm having, this is my traffic over the past, is it a month and a bit on Expensio. So this website, right? And I'm looking at 1,700 people. Now, given most of this is from Hacker News launches. So I went on Hacker News, I wrote a why self-hosting is better article. You can actually take a look at it here. It's not maybe the greatest article, but I think it's a decent and interesting take on the subject. And then I posted that on a Hacker News, and that brought me a lot of traffic and backlinks, and that was good. But some of this is SEO, because I rank for quite a few things. And I also want to kind of maybe show you what I rank for with lead software. Right here. So United Kingdom, I rank for SQLite versus Postgres versus SQLite on pages on position 26 and 34. And then I rank in a bunch of other countries, like in Sweden, I rank with that article on page 2. In Spain, I rank on that article on page, what is that, 3 or 2? I don't know. In Russia, I think I rank on, no, there was one of them which I ranked on page 1, but I don't remember which. Doesn't matter. The point is, yeah, I ranked for different things. It's fun. It's a fun thing to do. And I think it's a powerful thing to do, because I'm only starting out. I've only been doing this for a month or two. But I think it's very powerful once you kind of have this skill and you understand it. I think it can be very, very powerful. Did I mention tracked keywords? You should probably track whatever keywords you're trying to rank for, just to have them in here. But yeah, man, that's about it. That's about it. Of course, there's a lot more to Ahrefs. They offer a lot of stuff, but this is what I use. I think this is the 101, and I think this is super powerful.